So I've gone through several troubleshooting steps on this water heater, and as you've seen, I determined that this solenoid coil is shot. We had it lock out again today. So I had already ordered a replacement for this entire assembly. There's the control box that's mounted to the gas valve with a thermostat that goes into the tank. It's all one unit, and that arrived yesterday by UPS, so I'm going to go ahead and change this today. And the replacement process starts with shutting off the water supply to the tank, the gas supply to the gas valve, and unplugging the power from the tank. The next step is to drain the tank. The water supply valve is really frozen. I can't turn it at all. I'm trying to turn it off. I'm going to try just loosening this gland nut a bit, if I can, and see if that'll help. That's loose. That valve stem is frozen. I don't know if I can wrench it or not. We'll see. I'm going to try a pair of water pump pliers on it. There, that wasn't so bad. Now I can turn it off, assuming the washer is good enough to seal that off. Okay, so now the water's turned off, the water supply, the power is unplugged, and the gas supply is turned off. So to drain the tank, hook up a standard garden hose to the drain valve. Open it up. Now I have this garden hose running outside and down the hill. I'm hoping that I can establish a siphon and siphon it out. If that doesn't work, I'll have to drain it directly to the sump crock, and the sump pump can pump it out. Time to go out and look and see if I have water flow out in the yard. Down by. A few minutes later, it appears that the hot water tank is siphoning out. Have to wait a little longer and see. I don't know if you can see that. There's water running out here. It's possible it's siphoning that tank out. I'll just have to wait and see how long it runs. But this is a good sign that this siphon is working. I've been siphoning this water tank out for 15 minutes. It's still going. Okay, it's been over 20 minutes. Still going strong. Okay, it's been a half hour and the siphon has stopped. So now I can go up in the basement and confirm that the tank is empty. Hopefully that emptied it all the way out. Alright, now that the tank is empty, I believe, I'm going to confirm before I trust it. So close the valve, close the tank drain valve, remove the hose. It's a good sign that that hose is empty. That means it's siphoned out all the way down to the road. It didn't lose the siphon, it actually cleared the hose out and sucked all that water down to the roadside ditch. Alright, now just to confirm, I'll open it up all the way, and sure enough, there's just a trickle left. So that siphon idea worked perfectly. I didn't have to do it. I could have connected a hose to there and run it over to the sump pump and let it drain out that way. But I really wanted to see if this would work, and I also wanted to see if the low point out there on the property is lower than this. And now I know for a fact that it is, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have been able to maintain a siphon. How much lower, I don't know. It would be great if it was lower than the cellar floor. But at least this tells me the gully out there by the road has a lower elevation than this tank drain valve. Okay, here's an observation worth pointing out. The drain valve is a couple inches below where the thermostat on the gas valve goes into the tank. So when you drain it down as low as the drain valve is located on the tank, it will be below where the gas valve thermostat enters the tank. You can see it's a couple inches lower. There's a cable tie that needs to come off. Free that cable up, get it out of the way. Okay, to remove this valve, I'm going to start by pulling these wire connectors. There's a little locking tab on them. First one, and I don't know if you can see that tab if this thing's focusing on it, but you just push on the tab and it releases the connector from the point that it's locked to. That's one. And here's the other. These two cables will only go in one way. The next thing I'm going to do is remove this burner supply tube from the outlet of the gas valve. And so there's a flare nut here that is actually quite tight. But once you get it loose, it should just come right out like that. And there's a ground wire over here. I don't know if you can see it. It should just pull right off of there. It's just a push-on spade lug. This tube is flexible, as you can see. Just very carefully pull it down until it clears the bottom of the valve, and then you can move it over, kind of move it over to the side a bit. The next step is to remove or disconnect this coupler here, pipe union. I have a couple of pipe wrenches here that will take care of that. It's important to keep the part you're not moving from moving as you're turning the part you're trying to release. That wasn't bad at all. I'm going to wait a few minutes now until the gas clears up so I don't have to be down there breathing it. There's a little bit of gas pressure that was inside this piece of pipe. So gas came out just a little bit. The valve here is closed, so there shouldn't be any more coming out. I'm just going to give it a few minutes to clear, and then I'll move on to the next step. I opened the window above the water heater here to provide some ventilation for that gas that got out. And I set up a fan to help move the gas, basically to help dissipate it. Take these two pieces off. They're just going to be in the way at the moment. Yeah. Just turned. It's turning at the valve. That's convenient. Looks like you can just use this to loosen the valve. That's very tight. Very tight. Well, I can't do it with that short pipe. Let me try it with a longer pipe. This is just to give me enough leverage to break it loose, then I can go back to the shorter pipe. That worked. If I need it, I can put that short one back in. And it's out. I'm going to go look for a small wire brush that I can use to clean those threads out. I'm just going to brush these threads out a bit. Just in case there's any crud in there that we don't want in there. So the threads on this new valve come with some sealant on them. Doesn't seem like much. I don't know if I trust it. So I'm going to throw on some more Teflon tape as a sealant. And this just wraps around your threads. There we go. That's that. By the way, I wire brushed all these threads on the pipes, cleaned out 95 or 98% of the sealant that was in those threads. I don't know if I can go another full turn. That thing was so tight before though, maybe I should try. Okay, it's on there and it's tight. Now, before I do the gas piping, I'm going to pressurize the tank with water and make sure it doesn't leak before I put everything else back together again. To snug that gland up again, it's actually dripping now. That should be good. Just air. So far, just air. Apparently it takes a while for 40 gallons to fill. It's probably only 5 gallons a minute coming in. And there it is. I'll stop the release of that water. So the whole system is pressurized now with water. The tank's full, the air's been bled out, and all of the sinks upstairs. This looks like I might have gone just a tad too far with it. I'm using a level to determine its position. There, perfect. These threads have all been cleaned by hand with a wire brush. Just going to apply pipe dope. A heavy application of pipe dope. putting a little pipe yoke on top of this coupler here. Okay. Should be safe to turn the gas on now. Ground wire. Control wiring. This goes up to the top where the switches are. And this is the burner wiring here. This is the flammable vapor sensor. And it's just connected with these two spade lugs. That just push on like so, and that thing snaps into this hole, and that's that. This goes there. An RG&E repairman once showed me how to check for leaks. So I marked where that 1/2 foot needle is. I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes and see if it has moved. It's just above that tick mark there. Okay, how's that look? It looks to me like it hasn't moved at all. Alright, the gas is turned back on, the tank is pressurized, all the water lines have been purged. Everything's reconnected, all the electrical connections, and it's plugged in. So I might need to set the temperature. Yeah, it's on vacation setting. Well, let's try that. That's 120 degree setting. We have flame. Unfortunately, I missed recording what the igniter looks like. But we have pretty clear blue flame. Oh no, I think the flames look bigger than they used to. Nice blue flame there.